The little-known facts in Marvel movies that the screenwriters definitely won't tell you. Little-known fact 1. Why was Hela instantly killed by Surtur, the fire giant, with just one sword strike? You know, after Hela returned to Asgard, she was practically invincible. She not only wiped out all the Asgardian soldiers, but even blinded one of Thor's eyes. At that time, Thor had already awakened his power as the god of thunder, yet he was still crushed by Hela. You can imagine just how powerful Hela's combat ability was. However, no matter how powerful Hela was, she only had the combat power at the quasi-Allfather level. Otherwise, how could she have been sealed by Odin, who was at the Allfather level? The Surtur who broke through the temple. Now wasn't the same one that Thor easily defeated at the beginning of the movie. With the blessing of the eternal flame, he had reached the same talent level as Odin. In front of him, Hela was just a baby. Surtur could defeat her with a flick of his finger. Little known fact 2. Why did Doctor Strange wear a pair of yellow gloves when he first met Thor? And why did he never wear those gloves again later? Some people say that Doctor Strange was afraid of getting electrocuted by Thor, so he specifically wore a pair of insulating gloves to shake hands with him. Others say that this was to restore the comic book image, because in the old version of the Doctor Strange comics, he did wear yellow gloves. But this statement doesn't hold up, because he didn't wear them after that. In fact, the director's real intention was to save on the budget. You know, the name of this movie is Thor: Ragnarok, and Doctor Strange was just making a cameo appearance. There was no need to apply that expensive scar makeup to his hands. So, in order to avoid being criticized by the audience, and also save money, the director simply arranged for him to wear a pair of insulating gloves. Little known fact 3. I wonder if you've noticed this, but it turns out that when Thanos obtained the Infinity Stones, he was also losing the things he had. The greatest sacrifice Thanos made on his quest for the Infinity Stones was probably sacrificing Gamora on Vormir. When he turned to dust himself, he didn't shed a single tear. But when Gamora died, he was in floods of tears. But only by losing her could Thanos obtain the Soul Stone. For example, when he obtained the Reality Stone, his most loyal subordinate, Ebony Maw, also died. And when he obtained the Time Stone on Titan, his other 3 subordinates and many minions were all killed by the Avengers. By then, Thanos had already lost everything he had. Just as he taught Gamora the theory of balance back then. How much you want to gain means how much you have to lose.